Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. Please rise in body or in spirit. Let's sing together. This is just as long as I have breath. Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I meet each day. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to life. Just as long as vision lasts, I must answer yes to truth. In my dream and in my dark, always that elusive spark. If they ask what I did well, tell them I said yes to truth. Just as long as my heart beats, I must answer yes to love. Disappointment pierced me through, still I kept on loving you. If they ask what I did best, tell them I said yes to love. Do you hear, oh my friend, in the place where you stand, through the sky, through the land? Do you hear, in the heights on the plain, in the vale on the plain, in the sun, in the rain? Do you hear, through the roar, through the rush, through the throng, through the crush? Do you hear the hush of your soul, of your soul? Hear the cry, fear won't still. Hear the heart's call to will. Hear a sigh, startling trill in your soul, in your soul. From the place where you stand to the outermost strand, do you hear, oh my friend? Do you hear, all the dreams, all the dares, all the sighs, all the prayers? They are yours, mine and theirs. Do you hear? Nice.
Wow, if you build a second service, they will come. Welcome. I'm Reverend Terrence Strauss, your senior minister here. I use she, her pronouns here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, where together we join in this incredible, humbling, and overwhelming project of transforming lives. No small thing. Whose lives? Your lives, as well as everyone who touches you and this place. We are transforming lives through courageous action and soulful connection. And I welcome you into courageous action and soulful connection today as we consider what it takes to transform ourselves and also this wide, broken world we are dealing with and living in. So you are most welcome here. I am thrilled to have our new associate minister, Reverend Ian Hill, here with us today. And I don't even know if Reverend Ian knows this, but I hope that you will join all of us immediately after the service for a welcome reception and party for you. Well, we are gonna celebrate you and welcome you to Atlanta in the main way that we know how, sheet cake. That's how we do it. So please join us immediately after this service in the social hall where you will get to meet Reverend Ian, who will be in a different receiving line over there. Great, that's how we're gonna do that, and we just figured that out. And then also I want to invite you to a very special evening of celebration and song this Thursday evening at, I think it's 7 o'clock. Yes, it is. We are going to celebrate our beloved longtime music director, Donald Milton III. So please join us on Thursday evening for some nosh and some fabulous music by all of our friends and those we love as we celebrate Don's incredible tenure among us. And another thing is, we are ordaining a minister, friends. This is a big deal. So next Saturday, right here where you sit, we are going to honor and celebrate the ordination of our very own Amelia Shenstone into the ministry. Longtime members may remember Amelia's leadership among us. I think that she was the youngest president of the board that UCA has ever had, and now we are so thrilled to ordain her into the Unitarian Universalist ministry along with her home congregation in Carlisle, Massachusetts. So that will be taking place Saturday, August 23rd, 1 p.m. in the sanctuary. So there will be lots of ministers and pomp and circumstance and some beautiful words spoken and beautiful music shared. So please come for that. So I want you to hear that you are so welcomed here this morning at UCA. We welcome you who believe in science and the power of human connection. You are welcome. We welcome you who believe in a loving God. You are so welcome here. And we welcome you who are good with not knowing. You're also welcome. We welcome and celebrate so many beliefs here and call it good. We welcome you who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and queer. We welcome you who are transgender and you who are on the spectrum of gender. You are so welcomed and cherished here. We welcome you who are an immigrant, you for whom English may not be your first language. If you are a child of an immigrant, we honor you. Whatever the documentation, we welcome you and will protect you here. Here in this house of the human spirit, we welcome and celebrate your racial identity and invite your full cultural expression of yourself. Your age and stage of life, whatever it may be, as we are living the dream of becoming a religious community that is each Sunday becoming ever more diverse and beautiful in every way, because at UCA, we know that diversity is the expression of creation. It is the expression of the beloved community of heaven right here on earth, and we are proud to celebrate that. So we cherish not just all the different people here, but also all the parts of you, who you are and your identity. We welcome and cherish all of you, and who you are is welcome and known here. Now, if you have found healing and hope in this beloved community, please don't hide it away from those you love. Share the love with your friends and your neighbors. If there's somebody in your life who needs to know that you have found a place with this kind of welcome here, with this kind of celebration of diversity and diversity of belief too, please don't hide it. Go ahead and get out your phones right now. It's weird, you're not doing it. Go ahead. Okay, Sue Certain got out her phone, y'all. Come on. Go ahead and text somebody to join you for worship services next week at 9:30 and 11:15. I still feel like more of you need to be getting out the phones right now. Yes, okay, Paula. Or your other option is just to check in on social media while you're here, like Dana Taylor does. Okay, she does it like every Sunday. Let your people know where you are and what you have found. Don't keep it from them. Now, if you are new here and you are feeling intrigued, you curious, as we say, we would love the chance to get to know you better and to answer any questions you may have. So please join us upstairs in room 217 for our Pathfinders course for new members or visitors after the service, where music director Donald Milton will facilitate today's session along with the members of our belonging team. At Pathfinders, lunch and childcare are both provided for you. Now I want to welcome our fabulous stewardship team who has some very exciting and inspiring news to share with you. Kevin and Beth, go for it.
All right, welcome.
This year's stewardship theme, Now More Than Ever, speaks to the moment we're living in. The world needs places of sanctuary, courage, activism of love at the center, now more than ever.
Our annual stewardship drive isn't about just raising money. It's about sustaining a sanctuary where courage is nurtured, where activism takes root, and where we live our values out loud into the world. It's about all of us joining together to create something greater than any of us could do alone.
We're so excited to announce that we're already over 30% towards our goal. As of this morning, thanks to our steadfast sustainers, that's hard to say, and generous early pledgers, we've raised $287,000.
All right. It's an amazing start to the campaign. The Sustainer Pledge option makes it easy to have a monthly amount automatically withdrawn with the flexibility to pause or adjust as needed. You can even choose to have your pledge grow by 6% each year to keep pace with the rising costs and our expanding impact. Sustainers are the backbone of UUCA's financial health. And if you switch to a Sustainer Pledge this year, we have a special gift waiting for you.
It's a new car.
No. Not a new car.
We know everyone's circumstances are different. Whatever you get, it's received with gratitude. But our goal is for everyone to pledge by the end of September. That early commitment lets us plan boldly and responsibly for the coming year. You can make your pledge or get your questions answered at the stewardship table after the service and every Sunday through September.
When you pledge this fall, you are making more than a financial commitment. You are giving UUCA the ability to move forward with vision and confidence in 2026. Your pledge shapes our future, tells the world that our community matters. Thank you for your generosity, your faith, and your partnership now more than ever. Now, please join us in lighting our chalice. Let us say the chalice lighting words together. May the light of this flame illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace.
Our story this morning is adapted from the work of Tony Townsley. So I want to tell you about a boy who, on his 5th birthday, received a very special present. A present that would take him on many adventures, his parents said. Yeah. He didn't think the present was special, though. You see, when he opened his gift, he discovered 3 cups from his kitchen cupboard. His mother handed him an envelope of money and explained that he would start receiving a weekly allowance. And every year, the allowance would grow bigger and bigger, just like him. Every week, his parents would help him divide his allowance into the 3 cups. 1 cup was for savings, 1 cup was for spending, and 1 cup was for giving. But what about the adventures? The boy asked. Oh, they'll come, his father said. So every Saturday, week after week, the boy would get excited when it was time to put his money into his 3 cups. One day, his mother noticed that his cups were filling up. And so she suggested a trip to the bank. The little boy learned that he could put his money into his very own savings account, just like his savings cup. Ooh, had quite a bit of savings here already. There we go. And the best part was the bank would pay him to keep his money there. It was called interest. And that sounded very interesting to the little boy. Is this the adventure? He asked his mom. Oh, this is just the beginning, she said. When he got home, he counted the money in his spending cup. He wanted to buy a new baseball glove, but he knew he hadn't saved enough yet. So he waited 1 week, and then 2 weeks. Ooh, so much money. And then 3 weeks. And by then, he had more than enough to purchase his new baseball glove. Ooh, we even had a little baseball, yes. And he even had a little left over for his baby sister to buy a little gift for her. This is an adventure, he told his parents. Oh, it's not over yet, said his father. What about your giving cup? His giving cup was meant to go to people who needed help. And he remembered his school was collecting food for families in need. So he went to the store with his mom, and with the money from his cup, with the money from his cup, he purchased 8 cans of non-perishable food. His teacher, I'm getting excited because he was excited. His teacher even let him help deliver all the food the school had collected. The families were happy to receive the gifts, and helping them made him happy too. What an adventure, he thought. That evening, his father asked which of the 3 cups was his favorite. He couldn't decide. Saving, spending, and giving, his father said. Do all 3 things as you keep growing up. That's the adventure. Well, as the weeks went by, the boy continued to divide his allowance into his 3 cups. And when he got his first job mowing his neighbor's lawn, what did he do? He divided the money into the 3 cups. And by the time he was in high school, he had bought many things with his spending cup. And with the money from his giving cup, he gave to his congregation and other organizations that served his community. And when he went off to college, when he graduated from high school, he used the money from his savings account at the bank to help pay for the college he went to. And when he drove off to college, guess what he did? He took the 3 cups with him. And speaking of giving, I would like to invite the stewardship team to the chancel to lead us in this morning's movement prayer. And as they make their way here, I invite you to rise as you are willing and able and join us. First, we bow to honor the Spirit of life. We lift our arms and embrace the gifts of Spirit. We bring these gifts unto ourselves with gratitude and breathe and smile. We share these gifts with the world. We remember to be present, honor, embrace, gratitude, share, be present. Amen. Blessed be. So at this time, we would like to invite our children 3rd grade and under to exit and join preschool or their creative workshop for the morning. And please note the location for these is just down the hall on the 1st floor. And as our children recess, please take this opportunity to greet your neighbor, especially someone you haven't met.
We were made for these times by Clarissa Pinkola Estes, with a slight adaptation by myself. Listen, it's not on us to fix the whole wide, broken world, not all at once. No. Our work is to stretch, to reach, to mend the corner of the world that is within our arms' embrace. Any small, calm thing, a kindness, a gesture that another soul can offer can change the weight of this world. We never know which act or whose act will be the one to tip the scales toward an enduring good. Change, the real kind, it comes as an accumulation, act upon act, adding more, continuing when the wind howls against you. It doesn't take everyone on earth, just a small, stubborn crew. This small, stubborn crew who will not give up on the first gale, or the second, or the third, or the 100th. One of the most powerful things you can do in a storm is stand up and show your soul. Because a soul on deck is a lantern in the night. It is a light flaring in the shadows. It sends up sparks, signal fires, calling others to what matters. To be fierce, to be merciful, to be both in the same breath. That is an act of immense courage. And when your soul burns steady, struggling souls catch light of it, and they see you and they remember what is possible. And yes, there will be times when despair sits at the edge of your sight line. Oh, I have felt it too. But I do not keep a chair for it. I do not let it eat at my table. So here's what I hope you'll write, where you'll see it every day. When, and this is again really from Clarissa, when a great ship is in harbor, safe and moored, yes, there's no danger there. But that's not what great ships are built for, and neither are you.
Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like freedom. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like justice. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. I'm so glad that trouble don't last always. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do?
Let us put hands on our hearts now. Feel your heartbeat. Connection to life. Breathe in peace. Breathe out love. Say it to yourself silently. I will love myself. I will love others. And this love can heal the world. Let us send the threads of this healing love and our thoughts to Diane Loop, who will be having hip replacement surgery on Friday, August 22nd. Your cards and emails of support are welcome during this time of healing and recovery. We send this love out to those in our community and in our city who are suffering from trauma, who were near Emery Point on Friday, August 8th, or who have dedicated their lives to disease prevention, who were terrorized that day. May they know they are safe and held by a community that respects and values their life's work and their lives. May they find comfort and be at ease again through healing. There is someone in your life in need of some extra love today. Someone who is struggling, who is sick, someone who is feeling lonely or afraid. Hold their image in your mind's eye. Bring their name to the top of your heart. Write their name into the live chat community and speak their name into this holy cloud of witness now. Nancy. Catherine. Will. May all beings find connection May all people find comfort. May all of us find more ways to be more loving. Spirit of life, love eternal, we rest now in holy gratitude. We surrender to a mystery beyond ourselves, asking forgiveness for our mistakes, those times when we have been too selfish or thoughtless. Breathing in and out, we offer and receive grace. We forgive ourselves and we forgive each other. We begin again in love. Now let us calm our bodies and our minds. We breathe in peace, and we exhale once more. We relax into this space that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the silence.
Somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush. Somebody's calling my name. Oh, my Lord, oh, my Lord, what shall I do?
Again, as Clarissa Pincola Estes said, ours is not the task of fixing the entire world all at once, but of stretching out to mend the part of the world that is within our reach. End quote. That's stewardship. Choosing to show up with courage and compassion, bringing the light and trust we do have into uncertain times. It's not about doing everything, but about doing the thing that is ours to do. Today, one thing that is ours to do is to join with others who are already mending the world. That's why we share our plate. And today it's with World Central Kitchen, founded by Chef Jose Andres. World Central Kitchen has built a global network of chefs, volunteers, and food suppliers who bring nourishment to people in crisis. After hurricanes, during floods, in the midst of war and displacement, they hold fast to one clear truth. Food is a human right. As your very own Shay Stewart Willis shared last week, World Central Kitchen has had to pause operations twice in 2025 so far due to Israel's starvation of Gaza. Yet, as Shay shared, World Central Kitchen stays ready and determined to feed civilians with whatever ingredients they can gather. They are in Ukraine offering hot meals to people whose homes have been bombed. World Central Kitchen is also in Haiti feeding communities in the grip of political unrest and scarcity. They are in Canada providing sustenance to wildfire evacuees, and they are right here in the United States responding to disasters. This is the kind of work that our faith calls us to do and support. If we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person, we must also believe that every person deserves nourishment. I also want to share something personal. Last week, I was so moved by Shay's call to offering that I made my very first financial gift back into UUCA. That moment reminded me that giving is not only about meeting a need, it's also about deepening our connection to one another. It's also about living into the values that we proclaim. When we give to World Central Kitchen, we are putting that belief into action. We are adding our small, fierce act of generosity to thousands of others, helping to tip the balance towards compassion, justice, and hope. So today, let us live our values. Let us offer what we can, and let us remember that each gift, no matter how big or small, if it is given with an open heart, it is a part of mending the part of the world that is within our reach. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
During the pandemic, we were all on lockdown. We did this really great service on spontaneity, because our lives had lost spontaneity. And so I emailed my friend Mark and I said, hey, you want to just show up on Sunday morning and make stuff up? And he said, yeah. So since then we've been improvising together fairly often, and so we're gonna do it for you this morning. This is an old British tune, The Water is Wide, and D major. Why don't you start this time? I started last service. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that song sounded like unfolding friendship. It was so beautiful. Thank you so much for that offering. And now, so the morning service said that they were going to help me learn this because I got to learn these words to dedicate the words of the offering. So y'all got to help me. So here we go. To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community, we dedicate our lives, and these are offerings. Thank you. This way.
Everyone good is necessary. Everyone good is necessary now. I offer an excerpt from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Two Towers. That moment deep in the valley of the journey when Frodo says, "I can't do this, Sam." And Sam replies, "I know. It's all wrong. By rights, we shouldn't even be here, but we are. It's like in the great stories, Mr. Frodo, the ones that really mattered, full of darkness and danger they were. And sometimes you didn't want to know the end, because how could the end be happy? How could the world go back to the way it was when so much bad had happened? But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it will shine out the clearer. Those were the stories that stayed with you, that meant something, even if you were too small to understand why. But I do think, Mr. Frodo, I do understand. I know now. Folk in those stories had lots of chances of turning back, only they didn't, because they were holding on to something." Frodo asks, "What are we holding on to, Sam?" "That there is some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for." The Two Towers. In the book of Esther, in the Hebrew scripture, Esther finds herself at a pivotal moment. And by the way, this reflection comes to you from our sabbatical minister, Reverend Jake Morrill, who you will begin to see more of in a few weeks. So he writes that in the book of Esther, in the Hebrew scripture, Esther finds herself at a similar pivotal moment. King Xerxes, also called Ahasuerus, ruler of the Persian Empire, is reckless, extravagant, and not all that bright, endangering all who live under his erratic rule. In his dull, I don't know if this sounds familiar, but in his dull vanity, King Xerxes sentences all the Jews in the kingdom to death. At this moment of peril, Esther's cousin, Mordecai, appeals to her for her help because Esther, who is Jewish herself, enjoys a position of privilege in the empire. She's reluctant to risk it. But Mordecai tells her it is not certain in the coming wrath that her privilege would save her. Help, he concedes, might possibly come from elsewhere. But, he concludes, who's to say whether you've come to this place and position for a time such as this? Well, Reverend Morrill goes on to write, and by the way, he wrote this reflection November 9th, 2016. This morning, we awake to a democracy set recklessly, carelessly ablaze, and the fire that has started to spread. It reaches far beyond federal policy or the Supreme Court. It reaches, well, I wrote this part, it reaches the neighborhood of the CDC right down the street, where vaccine misinformation from the highest office of federal health has led directly to the murder of one of our own community's police officers. Reverend Morrill writes, those of us with some privilege in this empire may be tempted to seek refuge in it, as if privilege was ever going to save us. But who's to say whether you've come to this place and position for a time such as this? Upon hearing this question from her cousin, Esther doesn't leap into action. She doesn't issue a statement. She doesn't post a quip on Facebook. She knows what is asked of her is nothing less than to risk her safety, her life. So she asks her people to fast and pray with her. She takes time to prepare herself for what life now requires. That's what time it is for us, all together. Time to reflect, to be still, to feel all the feelings, and to prepare ourselves. Jake Morrill. So if you have been doing your meditation practice, if you have been doing your prayer practice, perhaps with a prayer partner, if you have been doing your yoga, your journaling, your morning meditation or devotional, if you have been taking a daily walk in the woods or around the lake, if you have been filling in and depositing your energy into community, well, these are the days you have been training for. This 2025 is your spiritual Olympics. This is our time to inflict our peace upon those around us, to tell our story of what life could be like, what life in the United States could be with exquisite and passionate detail, even if the story you're telling is just about 30 minutes of recess in DeKalb County. You gotta tell it beautifully, because that's what the kids need you to do. Can I hear it from the kid? Like, where are the kids? There's kids. I'm working for you. So now is the time to invest. This is the moment when we must declare that we will not settle for things as they are. Now is the time to invest in that which will save us from the very real threats that are coming to our doorstep. That which will save us is us. That's the spoiler. And I'm thinking these days about all the years of effort, the strategy, the meetings, the prayer groups, the sermons that the conservative Christian evangelical church has led its people through these last 50 plus years that have led them to understand exactly how to organize, to spread a message with captivating clarity, how to harangue their representatives and be a constant nuisance to them, how to never accept things as they are, but to incrementally transform the national narrative into the one they prefer. And here we are. So we will need that same energy. Are you with me? As we collectively relieve ourselves from the passive assumption that government institutions will save the most vulnerable, or that civility will reign in the highest offices in the land, or that cooler heads will prevail, still looking for those cooler heads, or that foundational values of freedom will carry us through, we must face the music that our executive branch is corrupted, and that corruption is trickling all around as opportunists take advantage of lifetime appointments or long political careers, leaving any notion of representation behind. So we know the grim reality is that the biggest crime spree Washington, D.C. has seen in recent years happened on January 6, 2021. And that it was incited by our twice impeached president, who was himself convicted by a jury of his peers of 34 felonies. And now he's audaciously trying to invoke the old racist law and order trope to turn our nation's capital into a police state. So, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it, congregation? Because this is your moment. This is the one you have been training all your life for. And the opportunities for your strategic peace plan that Reverend Ian and I have been working on that phrase, strategic peace plan. Well, the opportunities for you are practically endless here at UUCA. Here's one. One thing you could do is teach the children. Now is your moment to raise up the next generation of activists, to teach them about resistance and representation and protest and letter writing and advocacy and community care as they learn moral values and respect for diversity. Now, some of the religious educators in the room may be saying, that's already happening, because that's the good news. You don't have to teach the children all by yourself, even if you gave birth to those children. We are doing that here at UUCA. It is already happening. So that's the good news for you. The next thing you're going to need to do is train up the activists. Now is your moment to train yourselves to become a resistor, to join the resistance, to become organized with like-minded friends. You will discover how you will address the county commissioners at their meeting. How will you take direct action at the Georgia State House? For example, this coming Monday, at Moral Monday, there's going to be a very big action at the State House, okay, the Gold Dome. So check that out in the social hall. How to become a nuisance to your representative. How to run for office. My friends, the time has come for some of you out there who are well-spoken and who understand the issues to run for office, like you, the ones I'm looking at. Now, the great news is this is already happening. We are already doing it here at UUCA all of the time. And the even better news is that now, under Reverend Ian's prophetic leadership, we are about to get seriously organized, my friends. Now, I cannot wait for you to join Reverend Ian's strategic peace strategy, love strategy, to deepen our relationships of solidarity out there in the community with our partners, and to understand our work to be strategic and sustainable so that we can tap in and tap out easily and know that our shared vision will be taken up by each other's hands, because it's no hands but ours now. Now, the other thing we need to do amidst all of this is care for our elders. So now is at your moment to support the older generation in service or care. And if you are one of our beloved elders, well, now is the moment, don't delay anymore, to plan your legacy, to join a community of free and sacred souls to discuss end-of-life decisions amidst the comfort of friends, to gather in fellowship and fun and enjoy invigorating discussions or films together. This is the year that at UUCA we will launch Sacred Souls, a full faith ministry program to support the journey of eldering in our congregation. I'm so excited. So please stay tuned for more as this brand new ministry unfolds this year. Now, I don't know what will happen to the institutions we have come to rely on, including the institution of marriage for those of us who are gay and lesbian and want to marry same-sex partners. I do know that Unitarian Universalist ministers have been officiating gay and lesbian weddings for decades before the state ever recognized gay marriage, and I know we will keep on officiating gay weddings if the state decides to rescind that right. And I don't mean to discount the justice issues of state recognition, but in this faith, Religious freedom means our ministers have the right to officiate gay weddings, and perhaps we will need to take this call of our faith all the way up to the Supreme Court ourselves. Hopefully by then, some different iteration of the Supreme Court. But it will be our religious freedom. And in this faith, we will continue to promote vaccines and public health and support both science and scientists. And I want you to know that right now we are offering pastoral care to members of our community and congregation who are now suffering from PTSD as a result of that shooting at Emory Point on Friday, August 8th. And at UUCA, we know it is time to meet the moment, to be the people of conscience when our executive branch has lost theirs or maybe never had one to begin with. Now, why am I telling you all these plans, all the ways that we are currently offering community care, community vision, digging into the work of raising up the next generation and caring for the elder generation? Because it is your turn to meet this moment. If you are that ship, you have been unmoored. Now more than ever, UUCA needs your presence here, and UUCA needs your financial commitment too. UUCA is able to serve this vision of us becoming a hub of activism, community care, education, and beautiful, bold art because you have dedicated your life and these, your offerings, to its flourishing. This is how we will transform and care for our corner of the world. The thing that is calling to us, that needs you. And it is not enough, actually, just to make UUCA a refuge in this firestorm. Instead, we must also be a beacon, shining out and transforming the very values of our city, our state, and maybe even our nation with a strategic love strategy. Are you with me? Yes. Okay, you have probably figured out by now, this is a secret stewardship sermon. And if you're new here, we don't do these every Sunday. And I also want you to know that whatever you're able to offer, be it your time, your talent, or your treasure, that you are enough, just as you are. And you are welcome here, cherished and beloved. Whatever gifts you have to offer to the community are precious to us. So I want you to hear that before I go into the money part. All right, so the reality is that this community that we are dreaming of, the one that will save us all and save those who have not found us yet, this home for our faith and our values, this corner of the world that we can shape and make healing, the UU Congregation of Atlanta, it functions only because of your pledges. So let's talk about pledging. Pledging often makes me think about NPR, because that's something that I have pledged to. But I want you to hear this. Do you want a local NPR radio show that reflects your values? Because Reverend Ian and I are talking about launching a podcast. So we could have that too. Do you want your kids to have a Unitarian Universalist PBS program that's a throwback to the best parts of the 80s? Well, good news, Reverend Jake's got some awesome puppets, and I have invited him to incorporate them into his ministry with you. So please, make your pledge to UUCA today. You can go to uuca.org/pledge. That's how you do it. uuca.org/pledge. Not tomorrow, though. Unless you have to speak to someone in your household, maybe then tomorrow. Not next week, but please, for the love of all that is holy, not in December. That's not the time. now is the time. A pledge is a commitment of your monthly or your bi-weekly donation to UUCA's thriving. And the donation itself, that part doesn't begin until January. So we're talking about a pledge you do today where the payment part doesn't begin until January. But in order to plan our budget, to keep everybody employed, to keep this particular ship on its path towards liberation and love, we need to know your pledge today. So don't leave us in the dark. Bring your light and let us know what you're going to pledge. Your fabulous stewardship team, Beth Carpenter, Kevin Snedden, Laura and David Yamashita, they will be at tables in the social hall after the service to help you make your pledge. So you can get your cake and then you can visit with them and you can eat it too. In order to reach our budget goal, I've heard they are asking you to raise your pledge from last year by 10%. So you can meet with them and they will remind you of last year's pledge and talk with you about raising it 10%. And if you've never pledged before, they will talk to you about getting started. So where will this come from in your own life? You might wonder. Part of our work is to vet organizations for our Share the Plate with great care and wisdom and our partner organizations. We are building partnerships with these nonprofits, and we believe they are sharing in our work of building the Atlanta and the whole world that we dream of, where everyone has enough resources to live well, where everyone is free and safe to be themselves and love who they love. So if you contribute to other organizations, personally, I think you can trust that a pledge to UUCA is also a pledge to some of the nonprofits that reflect your values, that are near and dear to your heart. And if you would like UUCA to turn its attention to one of those organizations, you actually can email me and talk to me about that. You can also see the fruits of your financial commitment here in real time as we offer I wrote full life support that can see you through in the darkest times, helping you find the lilies in the valley, as Reverend Ian shared so eloquently with us this weekend with the Board of Trustees. The lilies in the valley are you, each of you, and the way you show up to each other and to your own lives every day with courage and compassion. So this past weekend, your Board of Trustees went to the mountaintop. Literally, they went on retreat to the mountain in Highlands, North Carolina. There, they prayed together, they worshiped together, and they prepared the way for a whole new program year of manifesting the beloved community right here at UCA. Come hell or high water, we have got our marching orders, the divine marching orders, the marching orders towards a world of love and justice strategically, to not burn ourselves out, but to keep it all going. Because I have seen this congregation make miracles happen. I have seen you thrive and support each other and give more than you ever imagined you could and invest in each other in the middle of a global pandemic when we didn't know if tomorrow was coming. I have seen octogenarians here learn Zoom in a matter of days because of your drive to stay connected to each other. I have seen children show elders how to make this new campus feel like a home as they spread themselves out here and find their comfy spots. I have seen you show up for each other in ways that are astounding and stunning in their devotion to one another's thriving. So I am not worried about whether we will flourish under the thumb of corruption and fascism. I'm not worried, this valley that we're facing, because you already know there are no hands but ours to pledge our money and our energy and our gifts to the work of our lives. Everyone good is necessary now. So here is where we will find the good, nurture it, share it, teach it, pray it, preach it, and let it transform each one of us and then transform our world. May it be so.
Please rise in body or in spirit. got to do when the Spirit says do. You got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you got to do, oh Lord. Got to do when the Spirit says do. You got to sing when the Spirit says sing. You got to sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you got to sing, oh Lord. You got to sing when the Spirit says sing. You got to shout when the Spirit says shout. You got to shout when the Spirit says shout. When the Spirit says shout, you got to shout, oh Lord. You got to shout when the Spirit says shout.
So pledge allegiance to the community of love and justice and belonging. Pledge your life, your love, your ideas, your beautiful creativity to this place that will grow under love's gaze, under the fire of our commitment, and transform us all.
You got to do